What's going on, guys? This is Bidon and welcome to the new video tutorial. In this video tutorial I'm gonna show you how to create a simple quiz application in Android using SQLite database with the use of Android Studio IDE. So let us talk about the general or common quiz application. In general quiz application, the user click on any answer of the question either to submit their answer to the database or to check their submitted answer is true or false. So, being a developer, you have to imagine what operation can be done using programming in order to perform such operations. So, before starting to this tutorial, you have to understand the basic concept of how we gonna do this project. To do this project, what we are going to do is, first of all, we are going to create the UI part of our apps. In UI part, we are going to drag and drop 4 radio button inside the radio group and 2 button, one for submitting the answer to the database and other for viewing the submitted answer. And then we are going to create one database in SQLite, and this database contains 3 tables. One table is for storing the correct answer, and the next one is for storing the user submitted answer, and the last one is for storing either correct or incorrect value by comparing the user submitted answer with correct answer, so that when the user click any button to check their submitted answer, this third table value is retrieved and will show in the message. And then finally, we write the code to perform the operation as I described in the early part of this video. So let's do it. First of all, you have to open the Android Studio and then click on Start New Project. This will take some time. And give the application name. Click on next. Select the phone and tablet and then click on next. And click on empty activity. Click on next and then click on finish. It will take some time to build the Gradle of our project. Here you can see our project Gradle is not built successfully, and it shows the error failed to resolve com.android.support version 27. Instead of installing this repository and science project, I am going to change the Gradle version of our project from 27 to 25. .0.2, there goes 25. And then I'm going to use 25.3.0 and try again. Finally, our Gradle is built successfully. So first of all, we are going to design the UI part of our application. So go to resource, layout, activity underscore main.xml file. Click refresh to render this program. Just delete this text box. Drag on radio group and inside this radio group drag 4 text radio button. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. So give the ID of this radio group like radio group, and all these radio button have their default ID. You don't need to change any of them, but you have to change the text. Before changing the text, I'm going to drag and drop on text over here to put the answer. So the text is, what is the height of Mount Everest? You can increase the text font size from here, like I'm going to use 20. Now select its ready button and change the text to correct answer, like 8848. Here goes 9848. Here goes 10848. Here goes 11848. These are 4 options, and we gonna drag and drop to button here. Button 1 is for submit the answer. Here goes btn submit, and then this one is for checking the result, check, and btn check. There you go. We just finished the UI part of our apps. So now we are going to create the database in our SQLite. So in order to create the database in SQLite, we have to create one class and extend that class with the SQLite open helper. So go to Java and then extend this first one, right click over here, click on new, click on Java, and then give the name of your class. I'm going to use database helper and click OK. Now we have to extend this class with SQLite open helper. There you go, SQLite open helper. Now here is some error. It says no class, no method is implemented. So just click over here and then press Alt Enter and click on implement methods, and then click OK. And again it shows error. It says there is no default constructor. So again press Alt and Enter and clear the constructor, and then click OK. Now inside this class we are going to define the schemas of our database. Schemas define how the database is organized. So first of all, let me zoom this one a little bit so that you can easily view. Public, static, final string, and here goes database name is equal to quiz.db, and then similarly just copy this, and we need one database and then 3 table. So just change this variable to table underscore answer table, and table underscore submitted answer table, and here is table underscore compare table, and change this name also. Answer, here goes submitted answer, and here goes compare. And we are going to create the column for each table, column for answer table. Public, static, final, string, and column underscore ans underscore 1, and each table contain 2 column id and their associated answer. For answer table we are going to create the answer column, and question submitted answer table we are going to create the submitted answer column. So just copy this one and then change the column name, and here goes ans, and similar process for other table. So just copy this one and then column for submitted answer, and then just change here colon underscore submitted answer underscore 1, colon underscore submitted answer underscore 2 id, and here goes submitted answer id, and here goes value, and then change this one to com, here goes com. There you go, we just create the column for each table. Now we are going to modify this constructor. Here goes the database name, and then here we put null and version to 1. Now inside this onCreate method we are going to write the SQL query. So db.exec SQL, we are going to write the SQL query inside here. So create table name, table underscore ans, and here each table contain the 2 column. So id is integer, int is year, primary key, and then auto increment, and then ans column is a text. So this is the SQL query. I'm going to copy this SQL query, and then just change this table name to submitted answer, and then this one to compare, and all table contain the id and automatic incremented, and here we have to change the SA, and here goes value. Now we also create the table. Now we are going to draw this table if this table is already existed in our database. So for this db.exec SQL, and then draw table if exist, table underscore answer, and similar process for other 2 table, table underscore submitted answer, table underscore compare, and then finally on create db. So we define our schemas, and then we create our database, and then we create our column for each table, and then we execute the SQL query. So we finish our the task of creating the database. Now go back to main activity and declare this control over here. Radio button, radio group, radio, radio group, radio group, radio button, radio button, and then we have two button, so btn submit, and then btn check, and then create the object of SQLite open helper, and then SQLite database. And then we also need the cursor, so now inside this onCreate method, initialize its control, radio group is equal to radio group find view by ID, r dot id dot radio group. This is the ID you define in your XML file. Here, this one is our associated ID. Now initialize its button, btn submit is equal to button find view by ID, r dot id dot btn submit, btn check is equal to button find view by ID, r dot id dot btn check. And then we're gonna use open helper inside this activity. So for this is equal to new database helper, and then this. This means we are gonna call this here in this activity, I mean in this class. So now we need to create the listening event of this button, btn submit dot set, on click new, there you go. Now inside this button I am going to initialize declare one variable, not initialize, selected ID is equal to radio group dot get check radio button ID. So when the user click this radio button, or this one, or this one, or this one, this variable is store the associated ID of that button. So now I'm going to initialize the radio button over here. Radio button is equal to radio button, and then here goes find view by ID. Here goes the parameter selected ID. Now I'm going to declare another variable that is store the text of the radio button dot get text the toString. Now I am going to, when the user click run this application and then click any one of this radio button and then click submit, this value should be stored in the database. So now we need to ready our database to write something. So for this, db is equal to open helper dot get readable, not write, get readable, get writable database, so that our database can, so that the user can write something to the database. So inside this on create method, I'm going to create another class called public void insert data, and then I'm going to pass the parameter string value. Now insert here content value is equal to new content value, we're going to write the something in our column, new value for the column. So content value dot put database helper dot call underscore submitter answer true, because one is id and id is auto incremented, and then here goes the payloads, and then long id is equal to, we're going to insert the value. So db dot insert database helper dot table, we need to provide the table name, table underscore submitted table, and then null, and then values. Null means if you want to insert the empty value in your table, we need to provide something value over here. So but we are going to provide the value over here. So content, here goes content values. Now we are going to call this method inside this onCreate event of this button, and then pass the value as text, and then text variable is store the radio button text, and this text is pass over here and then insert in our database. So text means this one 8848 9848. So and we need to display the message to the user, toast dot backtest get application context, and then the answer is submitted successfully, and the submitted value is radio button dot get text, and then toast dot length long or length short dot show. So we just write the code to submit the user click ready button. So let me run this one, and then you need to create your virtual devices, and In this tutorial, you have to create the virtual devices that have the API level below than 22. And I'm going to use the Genemotion as my virtual devices. You can use the built-in Nexus or your one. So check any answer and click submit, and the message should display your answer is submitted successfully, but our F is stuff unfortunately. So let me check the error. Click here on, and the error shows here is table answer. Go back to your database, table answer, put some space here, and then here as well, and here as well. Click OK and run again. And click any answer and then click submit. The toast is displayed, the answer is submitted, and the answer is your answer. So that's it in this first part, guys. I will show how to show this value. I mean how you can see this value in your database, and much more in the second and third part. So see you in the second part, guys.